December the 5th, over at the Our Lady of Guadalupe Church School, there'll be the TLC, Tender Loving Care Quilt Festival for Christmas Children's Day, in tribute to our little ones. A labor of love by Lisa Maida and Cynthia Sandoval. The church will be located at 4522 Brown Avenue. And it's going to be from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock dusk. And admission, 14 children under 14 and under will be free, accompanied by an adult guardian. For adults, it is recommended donation of $3 will be requested at the door. There'll be food and entertainment available. The guest of honor is a surprise guest, bull riding competition, all that. And for a little bit more about this activity for the TLC, please visit Tender Loving Care on the Facebook page. And the church is located again at 4522 Brown Avenue, right by the intersection of Huntington and Monterey Road in Monterey Hills. Thank you very much. Rose Hills area. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Wakamoto. And now I have George Cabrera, please.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, members of the audience, and also public safety officers. I just wanted to bring in a couple of things. Number one, I don't know if you're aware, we just lost a great community leader this past week. His name is Frank Wada, and I have his memorial card here if you're interested in reading more of his memorial quoter. I have copies here this evening. And also I want to let you know that we have our holiday issue out, which I believe it's another 28-pager. We have some very interesting articles in this issue. I won't mention any of them, but I will make one announcement. On the back page, on page 28, folks, there's a special event taking place this coming Thursday. It's our 6th annual Christmas lighting ceremony. It will be on Thursday, December 3rd. It's from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It will be taking place at White Memorial Medical Center. They're going to have entertainment, light refreshments, photos with Santa, petting zoo, face painting, Christmas caroling, treats, and more. And it's all free. Okay? And this is the issue. This is on the back page of our paper. And like I said, it has some very interesting articles in there. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Mr. Cabrera. Is there anybody else here to make a public comment? Okay. We still don't have quorum at this time. However, because we have Officer Camacho here and we have a few stakeholders here, I'd like to ask that he provide an update on some of the crime statistics in our area. Thank you.
How's it going? How's everyone? Good? Yeah? Such enthusiasm. That's what I want. I know, right? Still feeling the effects of the turkey. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I got a couple minutes. Just to give you an update on a couple of the most recent incident we had in the Rose Hills area. Of course, we had a homicide, and that had happened Saturday night, Sunday morning, involving a vehicle that had about 5 individuals in that car. They stopped where there was a group of young men, and they got out of the car and they pretty much asked them where they were from. And in fear, one of them actually ran off, and he's the one that unfortunately was shot in the back and was killed. So shortly thereafter, they detained some individuals. One particular suspect again was detained. He was arrested on an unrelated charge, but the detectives are confident that that they'll have enough to hopefully file charges on this individual. But of course, they got to get all their ducks in order before they do that. But essentially, the person detained had a parole violation, so that'll give them enough time to really put this case together. As far as the other homicide involving the 2 young ladies, detectives are still moving forward. They're also confident that they'll get results rather quickly. They're still following up on leads, but of course this has been an operation where they've utilized our robbery homicide, which is our elite detectives helping them out. So they, like I said, that they're pretty confident they're going to have an arrest pretty soon on that one also. Last month I wasn't here because I was participating in a search warrant involving the medical marijuana dispensary on Valley. Thank you. And I know detectives did a phenomenal job. It was an all-day, all-night, operation to seize all their goods and all that good stuff. They arrested the actual owner of the facility itself. And now I know there's been a generator that's been, I guess, powering up that place again. And we're relying on Department of Building and Safety to kind of do their job and actually enforce that portion of it. But we're waiting on the district attorney's office to make a decision if they're going to file it or if it's going to be given to the city attorney. When that happens, I will let everyone know that's interested in going actually prior to the trial. This way you can voice your what you feel about the marijuana dispensaries to the judge, and he's willing to listen, and most likely he'll keep it shut down throughout the entire trial. This way they'll give them a cease order on that so they can't remain open. Okay. And one of the other things, lately we've been having some what they call burglary from motor vehicle or theft from motor vehicle, and in this case I've been seeing a lot of catalytic converters. Seems to be the big hot topic, as far as I did put something on my Twitter account and my Facebook on just some tips. You can take precaution on protecting yourself. It's not a guarantee, but unfortunately they are targeting some of the vehicles that are raised a little bit higher, but that's not all. I mean, they've been targeting like Priuses too, so they just go in there, jack them up, and it's just a real quick thing, and they're actually been removing quite a bit of them, and I guess it's pretty lucrative how much they can get for that precious metal that's actually inside those catalytic converters. So, and coming up in February, I know it's still far away, but I'm going to keep reminding you, I guess, when it comes to the meetings, February 18th, there's an organization called Day of Dialogue, and it's pretty much kind of a roundtable discussion. An officer sits down at each table. It's open to the public. There'll be food and refreshments and all that good stuff, and you can sit down. You can ask officers questions. There'll be a mediator at each table, and it's a great way to get to know your officer and get some of those questions that answered. So again, that's coming up in February 18th. Yes. So I'll give you the location once that's been established. So that's it. Yes, go ahead. Ask me.
Just two quick questions regarding the dispensary.
Yes.
So they were operating without the proper permits?
Well,
the time it's been open?
No. What they did was, to operate, they have to be what's called the Proposition D compliant. So there's a set of regulations that they have to abide by, or rules that they have to abide by. And when they started breaking those rules, they started falling out of compliance, including some of the stuff that they were selling. Like honey oil, and what they call honey oil, and stuff like that, and operating after hours, just as an example. So once that started happening, they started building up a case against them, and that's when, again, the detectives started putting a case on them. So.
The other question is regarding the car thefts. I get the daily crime reports in the area, and every day there's at lot of cars being broken into.
Mhm.
And I was wondering, does the LAPD have a special unit that's actually looking into this to try to curb this from happening? Because every day I get a report, and every day it's like 10 cars at night
Right,
within the area that's getting, so I'm just
right.
throwing that out there. Is that possible to actually get a unit together to address this?
Well, that's something we actually try, because year to date, El Sereno is like number 2, El Sereno area, in car thefts altogether, including what we call, burglary for motor vehicles and car thefts. Like the southern end of Hollenbeck area, which is pretty much everything south of Whittier, that borders Vernon, and then East LA. They're twice as much, almost, pretty much. So when I look at those numbers, like, at least somebody's worse than, El Sereno. But regardless, it's still a bad thing. But yeah, we have a couple of specialized units that would go out and put what they call like a bait card, and then we put like something like that. We put a bait card, and it's actually something that's put together by detectives to try to curb some of these issues and try to, nab, because, they say it's only that small amount, that 10%, you know what I mean, that actually are doing this. And you're right, sometimes statistically, when I look at the numbers, it's like 1 week, oh man, I only had like 3, reported. And the next week, 17, okay, what happened? You know what I mean? So it's kind of this roller coaster. And sometimes what happens, somebody gets out, but that's when we rely kind of on the community. Hey, this guy is out. I know he's been breaking into cars. Like right now, where I'm leaving after this meeting is actually to meet with a person who has some information on someone who's particularly involved in this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But you're right. It's it's about putting a little task force together, because the relying just on extra patrol sometimes doesn't always get the result we want. But it's something that we're working on with detectives, because it's a coordinated effort. You know what I mean? So yes.
I appreciate that.
Sure thing.
Thank you, Officer Camacho, as always. Thank you for your service to our community. And I'd like to ask our LAFD Chief Spence if you can come up and give us an update, please.
Good evening, board, constituents. My name is David Spence. I am one of the 3 chiefs that represent Battalion 2. Luckily, El Sereno falls within my district. As you know, we are in the El Nino warning phase. We are expecting heavy rainfalls. We are expecting flash floods in the rivers. The Los Angeles Fire Department, along with the Los Angeles Police Department, has joined forces to create a river awareness team that will go out prior to the floods. So anytime there's somebody that's homeless or happens to be in the river doing recreational things, we will be able to get them out and send them to shelters if they so need be. But for the community, I just want you to be aware that the rains are coming. Please make sure that your houses are, if they're under construction in any phase or if they need any type of covering, that they are covered. We do have sandbags and sand available at most fire stations. The closest fire station to this location that would have sand and sandbags is Fire Station 47, which is located on the corner of Monterey Road and Huntington Drive South. The sandbags are actually at the front door. The sand is across the street in the vacant lot right on the opposite corner. So there should be a shovel out there, and if you need some help, you can always ring the door and have the firefighters come and help you. Secondly, I would just like to talk quickly about safety for the holidays. Please make sure that if you're using candles, that you don't use candles next to openings, curtains, blinds. When you are cooking, make sure that you monitor what you're cooking. 90% of all of our kitchen fires are a result of actual people leaving food unattended in their kitchens. We want to make sure that everybody has a safe and productive holiday season. Make sure that your trees, if they're flocked, that the flocking it comes from a reputable company and that it is safe. Make sure that if you use an artificial tree that has lighting on it, that it is UL protected or tested. And make sure that you don't put anything that's breakable within the reach of pets or kids, because if it falls down and they eat it, then we have medical emergencies. I always want you to be aware that the Los Angeles Fire Department is available for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are always there ready to serve you, and we're very happy to represent here for LA 13. Thank you.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Will you guys be having a Christmas tree drop-off zone for after Christmas? Because a lot of trees people living in the streets and they light them on fire. Will
We-
the fire department be having a drop-off?
We do not, and that's a very good point, and as we get closer to Christmas, myself or one of my constituent or cohorts will come out and talk about the dangers of dead Christmas trees, but the fire department does not have the drop-offs. What we do is we work in conjunction with the sanitation department, and we try to get them to set up bins, but it depends on how often and what our communication is with them in order for us to be able to do so, but that's a very good point. Thank you for bringing it up.
Thanks for information, thank you.
Yes. Is there anything else I can answer? I appreciate your time. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Chief Spence. We also appreciate your service to our community. At this time, we don't have quorum. I'm being told that we have somebody on the way that's about 25 minutes away. I don't expect any of us to sit here for 25 minutes. Every board member should be here at 6 p.m. So with lack of quorum, we're unable to move on to any other items tonight. I would call the meeting adjourned, but we never called it to order, so there's nothing to adjourn.
There's MPGs here, and I don't think it's fair for them if we don't at least wait a little bit minutes, because they're here, they're walking in, MPG, Bicentennial, and ASI is here, and he doesn't have gas, Mr. Chavez, so he's on his way.
If he said 25 minutes, it's probably more like 50.
No, he already had gas, and he was on the freeway saying, I am on my way, tell Marlene I will be there in 25 minutes, tell her to wait, is what he said. Did you? Just the Christmas tree for $250 for the senior center.
The meeting starts at 6, not at 7. And there's so many other people. I mean, you're not gonna have fun. I think.
Yoli's not coming, Rama's not coming, Sasha's not.
So it really just depending and hoping Sean will show up. I think there's some. I know.
Nobody else is coming.
It's already 6:30.
You're supposed to call it by 6:30. Here, 6:30 past.
It's unfair.
Not at 6, 7. But we're all still time, 15 minutes. We've already waited basically half an hour on the public comment. You're gonna lose part because I'm gonna be there. So you're gonna keep your word. We can all be addressed in January. Happy 2016. People come here at 6. See, it's disrespectful to them and to us. No one feels the way.
I'll wait till 7, don't matter. I already got here.
Nobody's being forced to wait, because I mean, who's gonna leave now? I mean, we don't even have. I mean, definitely.
So you guys are planning to stay?
I'll wait till 7.
Well, technically it's supposed to be at 6.
No, I understand that. But some people cancel plans to be here
Right.
till 9. So even though it's supposed to be here at 6,
You have a public comment today?
no, but I'm part of the Rosa community, so I want to know what's going on. You skip a month, people forget, things pass. A day goes by and things get forgotten about, The problem is that I canceled a company party, actually, the Christmas party they had today at the White Canyon. I canceled it from here, and now, exactly, now I'm stuck, like,
You can still make it.
and they have a raffle, yeah, they have a raffle that goes on. They got a laptop, an iPad, so it's like, I gave up a raffle, lost $35,